It's the Prentice Allsup Heating and Air Coach's Corner, fueled by Donut Country and McDonald's on 1019 100.5, 1450 WGNSSports.com and Big G TV.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Tennessee Orthopedic Alliance, TOA, the largest and most comprehensive orthopedic surgery group in Middle Tennessee. Find out more at TOA.com. Danny Brewer here. Happy to be here on a wonderful Saturday morning. And I'm joined now by my buddy, Mychal Greenwood, head basketball coach at Vergne High School. Coach Greenwood, how are you?
Loving life, man. How you doing?
I'm good. So, I don't know if I've ever asked you this, Coach, but tell me a little bit about Mychal Greenwood. Where are you from, Coach?
Originally from Cleveland, Ohio.
Cleveland, Ohio. What brought you to good old Middle Tennessee?
Just looking for something different. I moved down in the early part of the recession, just looking for a good place to raise the kids. My best friend / brother, he was already here, told me come check it out. I came down. I saw all of the family-oriented things like the recs and facilities and things of that nature. I went to some football games. I loved how everybody turned out for the football games, and I said, looks like a great place to raise kids.
So, Cleveland, Ohio, the mistake by the lake is what some call it. Tell me a little bit about the basketball in Cleveland, Ohio, because some cities have really good basketball. What about the basketball in Cleveland, Ohio?
The fantastic thing about Cleveland, Ohio is we're big in basketball and football. Ohio itself is more of a football place, but Cleveland itself is big in basketball and football. So some of the great football players that came out of there, like in my era, there were guys like Chris Chambers, for example. He's one who was actually great in basketball as well. And so the basketball was super tough. So I got to play against guys, the James Posies and Earl Boykins of the world that actually went to the NBA. So it was good to have both.
Yeah, Posey, Boykins, that's a couple of names there. Yeah, those guys could play. So now, did you play like high school against them, or play playground, or pick up basketball?
A little bit of both. Both of those guys were a tad bit older than me. There's other names that I don't know if you're familiar with, guys like Steve Logan and Clancy. Clancy was USC. He got drafted. Steve Logan was at Cincinnati. With Huggins, he got drafted. So there's like a ton of names of guys that got drafted, but maybe didn't become stars. Ruben Patterson is a little older than me. Mel Levitt.
Yeah. Cincinnati, he played at Cincinnati too, right?
Yes. And so I am in between some of those names that I mentioned. So some of it is playground, and we had very big summer leagues there. So some of it is playground, some of it is summer league, and some of it is high school.
Yeah, because Ruben Patterson, a really tough individual, wasn't he?
Yes.
I mean, a very tough player.
Yes, hard-nosed. And honestly, that's kind of the staple of Cleveland. You can't play basketball there if you're not okay with contact. So it wasn't a whole lot of run around and shoot threes. It was like you got to be tough, you got to be physical. So, of course, I'm a little bit older than LeBron, but I got to sit and watch him play. In my young adult years, I got to go back to high school or go visit the high schools and watch him play.
Yeah, because imposing physically, that to me, that's the greatest thing about LeBron James is he's so imposing physically.
Yes. And like I say, and so a lot of it's funny because a lot of his style, I think was deemed kind of new with some of the moves and some of the ways he would create his shot or whatever was deemed kind of new. But it really was a Northeast Ohio way of playing basketball. He was just the first one to take it to the level in which he did. So then it became a thing where it was like, oh, we can hold the ball like this when we go to the basket. That kind of football, like if you ever notice when LeBron goes to the basket, it's almost like a running back, how he holds the ball before he lays it up.
So nobody can smack it out of his
hands. And that's the way we all grew up playing basketball. And so it was things like that where it was like, because when you went to the courts, outside of school ball, you didn't get a lot of fouls. You know what I mean? It was a no blood, no foul.
There you go. There you go.
And so you had to be tough physically and mentally.
So let's talk a little bit about the Mychal Greenwood footprint you're trying to establish at Vergne, your first year at the leader of the Wolverines.
Yes.
Talk a little bit about that and that mentality you're trying to infuse into your basketball team.
Yes. So obviously there's the physical and mental toughness that we're working on. One of the struggles with it is just the fact that the guys are young and they got to get used to varsity. You know, the way the referees ref freshmen in JV versus the way they ref varsity is very, very different. So getting them to ignore contact is one of the things that we're working on, getting them to be able to overcome adversity. That's definitely something. And at some point, I would like us to be able to have better control of the pace, kind of pick it up a little bit. And it's a process. It'll take time. So I'm not trying to rush it, but that just more movement and pick up pace. That's kind of something that I'm trying to leave a legacy with.
So, Coach, I know I've seen you in action, and I know you're not afraid to get into some kids' grill if you need to, because discipline is important.
Absolutely.
And you're trying to teach the game here. Talk about the response there, because it's a little bit different now than when you played.
It's very different. The biggest difference that I see is kids are harder on themselves, harder on their teammates than when we grew up. When we grew up, the coach had to kind of bring us down a little bit to be like, hey man, you can't do anything you want to do. You can't make every shot. With these guys, it's like they make a mistake and they can sometimes let it get in their head and make it a bigger deal than it is. And so getting them to play through the mistakes has been the challenge for me. You know, letting them know, letting them know how much I believe in them, how much they need to believe in themselves. And with the struggles we had, that's been a challenge, because me saying it is one thing, them believing it is another. The last couple games we had, they didn't turn out the way we wanted to, but we were much more competitive. So we're looking to take that energy into this next week of practice and take that energy into the district tournament and see if we can shake some things up.
Because last night, I know the last few games that you've had been very competitive, like you said. Mm-hmm. But talk a little bit about last night. I guess you hosted Blackman?
Yes. Yeah. So we hosted Blackman last night, which we all know is a great team and a great program, very well coached. We hosted them, and it was a competitive game. We started off super slow. We couldn't put the ball in the basket for some reason in that first quarter. But things picked up after that. I think we were down like 6 going into half. It was nip and tuck throughout up until the last minute or two. I think they pulled away, ended up winning by like 10 or 11 points. But it was kind of back and forth. I think last night what got us was just fatigue. We kind of ran out of gas, and then we started giving up too many rebounds. And you can't give a team like Blackman second, third, 4 chances at the basket. Eventually, it's going to go in.
Right, exactly. And just the fundamentals. Talk about the growth of fundamentals, because as we know, that's the basis of this game. And that's one of the things, that's what makes Blackman so good, is they're very good fundamentally. Yes. So talk about the growth of fundamentals that you've seen with your team so far.
Yes. So one of the big things that I've seen that I'm super proud of is we have a better understanding of spacing. It's not perfect yet, but we have a much better understanding of spacing. I don't think we had that when we started. So that was a big thing that we've been trying to get them to learn and focus on all year. And so the next step for us is learning good shots versus bad shots, which we've gotten better with that. The key word for us is we got to stop wasting possessions. We got to treat every possession as valuable as we should, because what's happening is sometimes we'll go down there, we'll jack up a shot. We're playing great defense. We're playing really, really good defense. But it's only so many times you can just jack up a shot and, stop a team on the other end. Eventually, it's going to mess with you mentally and emotionally. So you got to see it go in the basket. But I think we have to stop wasting possessions and value the ball, waste possessions. We get a little antsy. We hold the ball for a few seconds longer than we want to, and we're like, I got to do something with it. And it's like, no, you don't. Just
right.
Wait for the right shot.
There's no shot clock in high school basketball.
There's no shot clock. Wait for the right shot. Like, I want to put up points. I want to have a fast pace, but I want to be smart with it before anything.
Well, I've said this on the show a few times. Years ago, Denny Crum, a fantastic coach at Louisville, John Wooden disciple, he told me that Coach Wooden, one of Coach Wooden's biggest things he tried to stress was good shots. Because if we shoot a better percentage than they do, we're going to win.
Yeah, and that's it. Between field goal percentage, free throw percentage, turnovers, and rebounds, that's your game. That's your game.
Absolutely. So tell me what you got coming up this week, Coach.
So this week we'll be doing a lot of, in the gym, we'll be doing a lot of shooting. We'll be doing a lot of offensive work. We'll be preparing. I'm pretty sure we have Blackman coming up in the districts. So it'll just be a lot of film study, a lot of work.
Do you have any games?
No, we'll be just practice time. We're just in the gym working on us.
Well, and that can be good though, right?
Yeah, we're in the gym working on us.
So that's Mychal Greenwood with Laverne High School. We appreciate your time. He's doing a great job down there building a product that we can all be proud of. Coach Greenwood, appreciate your time. Wish you the best of luck.
All right, thank you.
The Coaches Show is brought to you by Parks Auction Company. Let their team of experienced and professionally trained staff utilize the auction process to sell your property. Find out more at parksauction.com.